The year is 2025. CEOs face unprecedented challenges. Global markets shift rapidly. Information overload is constant. Stress levels are through the roof. Old productivity hacks are failing them. They need a new approach, one that sustains energy and sharpens focus. Many top leaders are turning inwards. They are discovering ancient Zen principles. These principles offer a way to navigate modern chaos. It's about balance, mindfulness, and intentional action in the executive suite. Why Zen? It's not just about meditation, it's a practical framework for efficiency. It helps leaders cut through the noise. They can see what truly matters. This philosophy aligns surprisingly well with cutting-edge science. Neuroscience supports practices that cultivate calm. It also boosts cognitive performance under pressure. CEOs are realizing that peak output isn't about more hours, it's about smarter, more focused hours. This shift is transforming leadership styles. It's creating more resilient and effective executives. The modern CEO understands a fundamental truth. Sustainable success comes from within. It requires mental clarity. It demands emotional equilibrium. Zen techniques provide pathways to these states. Think of it as mental martial arts for the boardroom. Leaders learn to observe their thoughts without judgment. They manage their energy, not just their time. This leads to better decisions. It fosters innovation. It also improves team dynamics significantly. The result is a more effective and human-centered leadership model. This adoption isn't a fleeting trend, it's a strategic response to complexity. The pressures of the top job demand more. They demand more than just intellect or drive. They demand wisdom and composure. Zen practices cultivate these exact qualities. CEOs are finding that by slowing down internally, they can speed up externally. They make fewer but better moves. This is the essence of Zen applied to business. It's about achieving more by doing less, but doing it right. One powerful Zen-aligned technique is working with ultradian rhythms. Our bodies operate in natural cycles. These are not just sleep-wake cycles. Throughout the day, our energy ebbs and flows. Typically, these are 90 to 120-minute cycles. During these periods, we can achieve high focus. After this peak, our cognitive abilities naturally decline. Pushing through this decline leads to burnout. It also produces diminishing returns for effort expended. Leaders are now respecting these innate biological patterns. CEOs in 2025 are structuring their days accordingly. They work in focused bursts, and these last around 90 minutes, then they take a real break. This isn't just checking social media, it's a 15 to 20-minute recovery period. This could be a short walk, it might be light stretching, or simply stepping away from work entirely. Science shows this allows the brain to consolidate information. It helps to restore mental energy. This rhythm optimizes sustained peak performance throughout the entire workday. Alongside natural rhythms, the Pareto principle is key. This is also known as the 80-20 rule. It states that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. For CEOs, this means identifying the vital few tasks. These are the 20% of activities that generate 80% of their desired results. Warren Buffett famously exemplifies this. He attributes much of his wealth to a small number of key investments. This principle is about ruthless prioritization. It is about focusing effort where it truly counts for maximum leverage. Applying the Pareto principle requires discipline. CEOs must constantly ask, is this task in my critical 20%? If not, can it be delegated? Can it be eliminated? Or can it be automated effectively? This strategic focus frees up enormous mental bandwidth. It allows leaders to concentrate on high-value strategic thinking. It also helps them to focus on needle-moving actions. This is far more effective than being busy with low-impact work. It's about impact, not just activity. This is a cornerstone of Zen-inspired productivity. Systematic distraction elimination is another crucial pillar. In today's hyper-connected world, distractions are relentless. Research shows the average office worker gets interrupted frequently. Some studies say it's as often as every 11 minutes. Each interruption breaks concentration. It then takes significant time to regain deep focus. For a CEO whose decisions carry immense weight, this cost is too high. Creating an environment conducive to deep work is essential. This is not a luxury, it is a necessity for high performance. CEOs are actively designing their work environments for focus. This means minimizing potential interruptions. Simple tactics include using noise-cancelling headphones. They might establish designated no interruption zones or times. Some implement strict communication protocols, for instance, turning off notifications during focused work blocks. The goal is to create a sanctuary, a space where deep thinking and complex problem-solving can occur. This requires intentional effort and clear communication with their teams, setting an example. Task batching is a complementary strategy. This involves grouping similar types of activities together. Instead of scattering them throughout the day, they are handled in dedicated blocks. For example, a CEO might batch all email responses into 1 or 2 sessions. All calls might be scheduled back-to-back. Creative thinking or strategic planning gets its own protected time. This method leverages how our brains work best. It reduces the cognitive cost of constantly switching between different types of tasks. The science behind task batching is clear. Context switching is mentally draining. Each time we shift gears, our brain consumes energy. It also takes time to reorient to the new task. By batching, CEOs maintain a consistent mental mode for longer. This improves efficiency. It conserves precious mental energy. It also often leads to a higher quality of work. This structured approach ensures that different cognitive functions are used optimally. It aligns perfectly with the Zen principle of mindful, focused effort. For years, techniques like the Pomodoro technique were popular. This method involves 25-minute work intervals. These are separated by short breaks. Some leaders found it helpful. Shama Haider of Zen Media used it. Kat Cohen of Ivywise also mentioned it. However, its one-size-fits-all nature has limitations. The modern CEO is moving beyond such rigid systems. They seek more adaptable and personalized approaches. The goal is sustained productivity, not just short bursts of activity followed by inevitable fatigue. The primary critique of Pomodoro is twofold. Firstly, research suggests true deep work can take around 23 minutes to achieve. The 25-minute Pomodoro interval might interrupt focus. This happens just as someone is hitting their cognitive stride. Secondly, the prescribed micro breaks are often insufficient. They may not allow for full cognitive recovery. This is especially true after intense mental effort. Ultradian rhythms with longer work and recovery periods often prove more effective. They align better with our natural energy cycles for deeper work. The shift in 2025 is towards personalized productivity systems. Leaders recognize that genuine, sustainable, high performance is individual. It arises from systems tailored to one's unique goals. It considers personal work style. It respects natural energy rhythms. What works brilliantly for one CEO might be ineffective for another. The underlying principle is self-awareness. It's about understanding how you work best. Then you design your routines to support that optimal state of functioning. Ultimately, the Zen-inspired CEO of 2025 builds their own system. They draw from scientifically validated principles. They might incorporate elements of ultradian sprints. They will likely use the Pareto principle for prioritization. They will certainly eliminate distractions and batch tasks, but the final framework is uniquely theirs. It is flexible, adaptable, and aligned with their core objectives. This personalized approach is the future. It fosters not just productivity, but also well-being and enduring leadership impact.